Gursky here to talk about one of my favorite aspects of mapping, and that is that maps are key tools to use in 21st century decision making. What do I mean by that? Maps are becoming this nervous system of the planet where we are increasingly monitoring and mapping all of the systems that make up our world. The ecosystem, the biosphere, the atmosphere, the lithosphere, the oceans, the people, the movement of people on the landscape. So all those things are being mapped and studied and analyzed, ultimately in everyday life, in city governments, county governments, state, regional, national governments, international organizations like the World Health Organization, also in private companies, and also in universities or academia, and also in nonprofit organizations like the Jane Goodall Institute, or the Nature Conservancy, or the Trust for Public Land. Those organizations that I just named, they're using maps to make key decisions about land use, about grazing, about water quality, about human health, about city plans, about natural hazards, and so on. Transportation, I mean, you name it, the list goes on. Now, maps are kind of like, and geographic information is kind of like an elevator. You don't really think about an elevator. I couldn't really fit on an elevator very well in this map man suit, but the point is that you get on an elevator, you don't really think about it. Forget about it. You don't really think about it. It just works. When it doesn't work, that's a problem, but you sort of take it for granted that it's behind the scenes enabled skyscrapers, for one thing, in the early 20th century. So, geographic information systems, or GIS, I think are kind of like elevators. They operate behind the scenes, making things more efficient and enabling things to happen. You don't really think about it, but maps and geographic information are behind all public transport systems, behind supply chain management. Hey, do you like your phone? How do you think that phone got assembled? And all those chains of supplies that were essential in creating the phone, and also where's it going to be distributed? Who's going to market it? Who's going to sell it? Where are you going to pick it up, etc.? How can you get it maintained? And so on. So all of those things, ranging from phones to grapefruit to cars to pieces of wood that you can use in your wood shop, to maps itself, to couches, to anything, carpet, to ceilings, to houses, right? They all have to do with supply chain management. So that's just one aspect of maps and geographic information being used in our everyday lives. You need electricity. The electric companies are using GIS to figure out where there's an outage or where future lines need to be built. The orange growers are using GIS for more sustainable agriculture, for shipping their products, for figuring out where they need to protect their oranges in case of a freeze, etc. The public transit system, you name it, all around us, maps are being used for essential 21st century decisions. They become sort of the nervous system of the planet. Now, just like our bodies have a nervous system that regulates all of our vital organs, maps become the nervous system for planet Earth. That's what Jack Dangermond, our ESRI president, frequently says, and I love what he talks about. It's the idea that maps are underpinning all of the key functions of our modern society, and also making those functions operate more efficiently, more safely, and in a more sustainable way. So that's one of my favorite aspects of maps, that maps and geographic information are essential for decision making. Thanks.